Hey Mansfield, super excited that you're joining us. I have my friend Kenneth Rose. He's the president of Texas Health Hospital here in Mansfield. If you live in the area, you've noticed that off of 287 and Lone Star, they're building a great big brand new hospital. It's beautiful. Kenneth, what's the timeline on that opening up?
So we're looking at October of 2020, our move in.
Okay.
And in December of this year of 2020 is when we're anticipating and beginning to see patients.
Okay, so that hospital's in the works, getting ready to open it. And I just wanted to talk to Kenneth to ask him about everything that we're experiencing kind of right now. What's the medical field, the medical industry been doing over the last weeks and even months kind of to ramp up for the coronavirus?
Yeah, it's a great question. And for me, not being a clinical person myself, I can't give you a lot of medical data.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you from a planning perspective, a big deal for us is making sure that we're prepared for a potential increase of people who need medical care.
Yeah.
So making sure that we have ICU beds ready, we have our staff prepared, we've gone through a lot of emergency plans to make sure that we're doing everything we can to be there for the community when they need us.
Yeah.
In Mansfield, that's not today,
Yeah.
but Texas Health has locations around the DFW Metroplex that's
Right.
prepared for this.
Yeah, I've known Kenneth for a while, and I know that he's really passionate about providing quality care for people, and that's what Texas Health does. And so I'm really glad that you guys have been ramping up for that. Here at Living Church, just this week, we had 2 people in our church that just had babies. And so that's exciting. As a pastor, usually I'd be at the hospital and hugging babies and giving gifts and being excited, but man, I haven't been allowed into the hospital. So could you talk with us a little bit about some of the protocols of if you want to go and visit somebody who is at the hospital?
I would say the most helpful thing to us as hospitals right now is to Google the hospital that you need to go to, find their phone number, and give them a call before you go.
Okay.
We're trying to do everything we can to keep our patients that are in the hospital and potential patients coming into the hospital and families and visitors safe.
Yeah.
And so that means we have different protocols at different hospitals, and the protocols are shifting and changing almost on an hourly basis.
Yeah.
So that we can be as best prepared as possible.
So the biggest tip there is if you need to go to the hospital, give them a call first. If you're trying to visit a patient or see somebody, let them know that they're coming. How does that relate to testing? So if someone thinks that they might have the coronavirus or they have some symptoms, what should they do?
Yeah, a great thing to do is to call the 24/7 hotline, coronavirus hotline that Texas Health has established right now. That number should be on your screen. I can't remember it verbatim, but it'll be on your screen. Give them a call, ask your questions. They can give you updates about testing, places to go, and things to do if you suspect you may have the virus.
Yeah. I know that there's a lot of doctors' offices locally that are closed. And so that kind of creates some chaos in the system of people asking, what should we do? We can't go to the ER like we normally would. What do I do if my kid breaks their arm or they get an ear infection? What should people do?
Yeah, and those things are still going to happen,
Right.
right? We're in a time when things can still go sideways.
You can still get regular sick. You can still have a regular injury, cut yourself, whatever.
Yeah. We're going to coin that phrase, regular sick.
Yeah.
There's coronavirus sick and there'll be regular sick. If you do get regular sick, still call the hotline. Talk to those folks. We've got clinical people ready to answer your questions, to hear your concerns, and to guide you to the best level of care because you still may need a hospital.
Right. No, I think that's really important. And so we just need to be taking care of ourselves. And so there's a lot that we can do to help prevent corona sick. So talk with us about some of the things that we can do to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and our family and our loved ones.
There's a couple of really great, easy things that people can do. And first and foremost, I think we tell you guys this every flu season, please wash your hands. Soap and water, antibacterial if you need to, but please keep your hands very clean.
Yeah.
That helps the disease not transmit between people.
Right.
The other thing is social distancing. So at least 3 feet between someone who has an active cough.
That's why this table's here, just in case.
So we want you to do that social distancing and not be too close like you normally are.
Yeah, which is really hard for some of us. For me, I'm a hugger, I'm a high fiver, a handshaker, and so it's tough to see people that you love but not fully embrace them. But just in this season, not only for our own protection, but for other people's protection.
Yeah, and you give good hugs.
Hey, come on, somebody. That's how we do it.
So we shouldn't do that, but we will miss Pastor Truston's hugs.
Yeah.
Keep the social distancing.
Yeah.
If you're able to, please stay at home. It just is very helpful for people to not be in large groups. You've seen some of that from the CDC and some of those recommendations. So please stay at home if you can. And keep those hands washed. I think I said it first, but I'll say it again. Keep those hands clean.
Yeah. Something, Kenneth, you were talking to me about is that not to stay healthy is not only a physical thing, but kind of an emotional thing, that we need to stay connected. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so a big believer, and something that's a philosophy of our hospital when we open, is going to be this idea of whole person care. That's very important to us. So you're more than just a physical person. You have a spiritual side and you have an emotional side. And so something I'm urging people to do in this time when we are somewhat isolated and disconnected is to stay connected. Utilize FaceTime. Give people a call, text. Find ways to still stay connected with your friends and family so that you don't get into this total isolation, which can lead to depression and other things. So we want people to try to stay safely connected.
So we don't get into a funk and we're just kind of in our cave and then our mind starts swirling. I just talked with a guy today. He came by the church to see me. And he said, Pastor, I couldn't sleep last night, but it's because last night I watched a movie. I don't remember what it was, Contagion or Outbreak or some movie. And he was like, I was up all night thinking about the zombie apocalypse. And I think that we have to be intentional about what we're feeding ourselves mentally. That if we're looking at all of these scary negative things, that's not really going to help anybody. Kenneth, I know that there's a lot of misinformation out there that, like, you know, the buddy you went to high school with, they might not actually know what they're talking about. So where can people go to get real, accurate, up-to-date information on kind of what's happening?
Yeah, the two best places for people to go online, the CDC website and the WHO website. So the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control. Those two websites are producing facts real time, very regularly, so that people can stay on top of this and can understand what they need to do to stay safe.
No, it's really good. Well, Kenneth, thank you so much for taking some time to come and visit with us. Mansfield, stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, it's all going to be okay. This is just a season. We've been through this before. There's always ups and downs in life. You know, I was thinking that the whole world isn't a mountaintop. That as you look at the globe, there's mountains, there's valleys, there's rivers, there's plains, and we can't always live on the mountain, and we're not always in the valley. And so just remember that tomorrow's going to be bright, that God's with us, that He's for us, and that the best is still yet to come. Thanks, man.
Look forward to your hug in the future.
Oh, come on now.